Hello, so today I'm going to talk to you about sensory details, specifics, and imagery. It's especially important for me to talk to you about these techniques in creative writing because word choice is everything. It's the difference between an A paper and a C paper. And I'm not just talking about in creative writing, I'm talking about actually in all of your work. If you don't use specific examples to support yourself, whether you're writing a complaint letter to a company or you are creating a fictional story, you are not going to get the results that you hoped for. So, today let's talk a little bit about imagery and sensory detail. So, the word imagery just means that you create pictures with your words. So, for example, crimson tattered fingers, a smudged chalkboard. So, I'm using those terms to create images in my reader's mind. There are concrete words and then there are abstract words. Concrete words talk about specific physical things that we can see. And abstract terms, I think we talked about this earlier when we talked about metaphor construction. They're words like love, hate, fear, tree. They're not as specific as they could be. So I'm going to really encourage you to try to actually not use abstract language such as hate or fear, but to try to show what those look like. So instead of hate, the feel of a fist pounding over and over into a hard wooden table. Instead of saying she felt afraid or she felt fear, her heart thumped wildly in her chest, creating a rhythm like a drum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. Instead of saying that someone sat underneath a tree, what kind of tree did they sit under? Were the branches drooping and low? Were they high and reaching toward the sky? Those are the differences between a real writer and an amateur writer. A character doesn't have a can of soda. What kind of soda does that character have? Is it a Mountain Dew? Is it a Pepsi? Is it a Monster? Those kind of details can really tell the reader a lot about your characters. So when we look here again, don't just say he put on his clothes and went to school when you're talking about your fictional character. Well, what clothes did he put on? Because now you have the opportunity to really tell us things about your character so that you don't have to tell us later. Like, you don't want to tell us he was a hippie. You want to say he pulled on his faded tie-dye t-shirt, cranked up the Jim Morrison music, and put on his hemp flip-flops before exiting out the door, humming his favorite song from the 70s, Magic Carpet Ride. Okay, now I can see this character, right? Again, don't say, your character went home and did homework. That's so bland. Instead, you want to actually help the reader create an image in their own heads and understand your character a little bit more about them without you telling them. So don't say the character only cares about homework. No, instead say Sadie walked through the door, her backpack bulging at the seams. Inside was a tattered algebra book with squiggles of pencil written in the margins and post-it notes scattered randomly throughout the book. All right, so you really want to make sure that you use words that also refer to the five senses, words that talk about taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight. These are the words that are really going to draw your reader into the details of your piece and help them to actually be able to feel like they're inside of that piece.